What's up, world? Welcome to Limelight Conversations. I'm your host, Troy D. Williams, and we have a very, very special guest in the studio with us today. So today, we actually took a ride into the world of mixed martial arts. You guys may have seen him in the UFC. You know, honored to interview UFC fighter welterweight Philip, the Fresh Prince Rowe. We got him in the studio today. Phil, what's up, man?
How you doing, brother?
Good to see you, man.
Pleasure.
Thank you for doing the show.
Of course.
It's a pleasure having you here, man.
Pleasure.
Yeah, so you know, today is about you, man. We just want to learn a little bit more about you, the man outside the cage.
Copy.
All right, so where you from?
From Brooklyn, New York. East Flatbush, exactly.
Okay. All right, good stuff, man. Now, I would think it would probably be obvious, but why? Talk about the nickname Fresh Prince. Where'd that come from?
It's actually funny. Most people don't really know why I have that name, and most nicknames, I think the best nicknames are nicknames that people give to you. Reese Hall from Palm Coast, Florida was my first coach, and my very first event was Bike Week Beatdown in 2012, and I was nervous, which is normal. And before the fight, he went up to the ref, and I guess he was messing with the ref and telling the ref to come up and talk to me. And the ref came to me and said, "Hey man, what's your name?" I was like, "Philip Rowe." And he said, "Hey man, you need a fight name. You need a fight name or you can't fight." And I'm like, "Hey man, nobody told me I needed a fight name, bro. I'm just, you know." He said, "Hey, you need a fight name or you're on in 15 or you can't fight." And I'm just like, "All right, cool. All right, man." So I'm like nervous. I'm like, "Man, I didn't know I needed a fight name. That's just crazy, man." And he comes back and he's like, "Hey man, you come up with a name?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "What's your name?" I said, "Phil Death Rowe." And he's like, I like that. He's like, "Wow, I like that." So that's what I came up with for myself, Philip Death Rowe. I thought that's kind of cool.
Like Death Row Records.
Yeah, like Phil Death Rowe, you know. So I'm like charged up, you know what I mean? So he was like, "Man, that's the Fresh Prince, man." That's what my coach said. That's the Fresh Prince, man. Like, and when I came out, that's what they introduced me as the Fresh Prince. And then
okay.
I just ran with that. And not for nothing, I love Will Smith, you know what I mean? Like, I grew up on him. I've been watching him since as long as I can remember. I've been a huge fan. You know, there's not many people out there that I'm like, man, him and Kobe were those people for me, you know? Yeah. R.I.P. to the GOAT. Yes. But Will is that other guy, you know? So hold him in a high regard, man. He does a lot of good things, and I always follow him and kind of, you know what I mean, pay homage to him.
Gotcha. So, you know, I thought you were going to say it was about, because you do kind of, like look like him a little bit, man. Kind of the high top. Yeah, you got the high top, the swag. So I thought it was something that came like or originated in your childhood.
Copy.
Okay, so that came about when you began fighting.
Exactly.
That's what's up, man. Now, what age did you start fighting?
21.
21?
21. October 20th, 2011 was the first day I walked into a gym, and I made sure I didn't forget that date, and I never left. I just wanted to be efficient. You know, when I came in there, I was like, I wanted to be a black belt, you know, but I liked fighting. I was scared of it, but it was something that I wanted to be good at. And I told myself when I walked into the gym, I said, I don't want to leave until I'm efficient. And I wanted to be a black belt. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to stop until I am a purple belt. It's white, blue, purple, brown, black. And I said, at least a purple belt before I remotely think about quitting this, because I want to be efficient. And the day I walked in, I never stopped training, like ever. I never stopped. I never took off more than a week. The longest I ever took off was 2 weeks. And that's like being totally distant from the gym. And that's in this gym. I broke my finger moving tile. I smashed my index finger, like it smushed this finger to a pancake. And I literally just couldn't physically be here. And then after those 2 weeks, I was on the mat. I wasn't training, but I was physically here, learning, kicking the bag here and there. You know, I actually try to roll a little bit. So since then, I literally have been training full time, 5 days a week, sometimes 6, sometimes 7, since 2011.
Wow. See, so when you see, and I'm glad you said that, because when you people's work ethic, right? Training, like all that stuff. Sometimes people feel like people just got lucky to get to where they are, right? But it's like when you start hearing like the training regimen of people, it's like you understand. It's like, man, how many people willing to do that? You said since you were 21?
21. I'm 30 now.
So you've been training only 2 weeks off in 9 years.
Literally, like
That's crazy, man.
literally, and I'm not just saying that. And anybody that knows me personally, they understand that, So, I was already behind the ball, in my opinion, So I had to bridge that gap, and I always wanted to be in the UFC. And just being 100% honest, at times I didn't know if I could be there. Not from lack of talent, or I just thought it was going to be just borderline impossible with how many people want to be there. It's the NBA of fighting,
Right.
And it was just a long shot for me, but I always believed in myself, and I always had the work ethic, but I always knew I could be there. But I always, in the same note, thought like, man, what if, can I really get there? That's always there too, So thankfully, my hard work came to fruition, and it's just I'm just getting started. It only gets harder here,
Absolutely. So you started training at 21.
Mm-hmm.
At what point did you turn pro?
So I took my first professional fight in 2014. And hindsight, I would say, I turned pro too soon, but I didn't turn pro too soon because everything happens for a reason, Losses mold you, So I took a loss my pro debut, and maybe if I didn't take that loss, my path would have went different, Like I've seen a lot of guys go 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, take one loss and you never hear from them again.
Right.
And anyone at my level of fighting will tell you that, I see a lot of guys, weed themselves out. And I wasn't one of those guys that had all the sponsors and had all these names on my banner, and I didn't even have a banner. And I know I wasn't one of those guys chose to be where I'm at, but it doesn't matter. I didn't let that stop me, but it was a difficult journey. But in the same note, like I said, I'm thankful for everything I went through. Now that I'm here, I'm happy it went the way that it did, I'm happy I lost my first 2 fights. It was supposed to be that way. No matter what I think happened, I lost. And those losses and those experiences molded me for the better. I started holding myself accountable. And the second I started holding myself accountable, I started winning. So there are guys that don't hold themselves accountable and they win. There are guys that make excuses and they win. Unfortunately, I wasn't blessed to be that guy. But there's people that cut themselves short, not just because they don't hold themselves accountable, So thankfully, I was able to make a turn in my career, starting to hold myself accountable, and then I started to see results.
You held yourself accountable. Now right before that, you were saying that you didn't know if you could make it to that point. Like, at what point did you feel that you could be great in this sport? Like, was there a moment? Was there like a certain fight? Like, what was the point that you knew that I could do this and I could do it at the highest level?
At this point, I was 0-2 as a pro. I went undefeated amateur boxing, around like 13 fights. Got to check my book. I had a lot of smokers that don't really count for USA boxing. I went 9-4 as amateur MMA. Amateur kickboxing, I went undefeated as well. But my second pro fight in West Virginia, I was living in West Virginia at the time, and I took a fight in Philadelphia. And I fought a kid named Justin Lesko, and I weighed in at 155. I used to fight 155. And I was 0-1, at this point and looking for my first pro win. And to answer your question, the weight cut was extremely hard. And when I lived in West Virginia, I didn't really have many people around me in my corner in the town I was in to help me progress my martial arts career. I did have a gym that I went to, and it wasn't a fight gym, it was a jiu-jitsu school, and I met a lot of good people there. Joshua Fowler, Phil Davis, Sampy Harden, a lot of really good guys. And I'm not throwing any of those guys under the bus, but as far as like propelling my fight career and helping me with that, there wasn't many people around that really knew how to do that. So I was kind of on my own. And I was taking fights, and I was traveling to Camp Springs, Maryland, and training with Team Lloyd Irvin. And I would fly to Arizona and train with my boxing coach, Kelly Davis, and I was doing all these things, and all in hopes for a pro win. But I always worked hard, right? And I would think, and I'm like, man, like, can I do this? Like, I'm not a high school wrestler. I didn't come from this. Like, I've just been doing this for a couple of years, man. And like, I've been training hard, but like, it's not really clicking. Like, what is it gonna take, you know? And this weight cut was one of the hardest weight cuts of my life. And I remember at one point, I was in the sauna of this country club in Morgantown, West Virginia. And I went up to the guy at the front desk. He was actually a college wrestler, and he was running the desk. And I said, hey, man, come check on me in about an hour so make sure I'm not dead. I was joking, but I wasn't joking.
Nah, that's serious, man.
And I was there by myself, and I was just cutting weight. I was getting to 155. I hadn't ate or drank a single thing in almost 2 days. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that. Like, I didn't eat or drink at all for almost 2 days at this point. I'm trying to make weight. Like, and that's not too far-fetched to fighters that are listening to this. And I remember there was a point in the sauna, it was getting hard. And I was like, Phil, you're not going to fucking die in here, man. Man up. You know, I was having these conversations with myself. Like, you're not going to die. Like, tighten up. You know, like, there's no one to lean on in there. It was just me. And I kept saying, you're not going to die in here. Like, tighten up. And it was hard, man. Like, the hardest weight cut of my life. And I made weight. And I remember I came out the sauna, and I was looking for someone to take a picture of me. And I was looking, and then in my eyes, I'm trying to find someone to take a picture. So I see someone, I say, you take a picture of me, man. And I'm sitting there, and he's like, hey, man. He takes a picture of me. So then another gentleman comes up to me, he says, hey, Phil, man, you can't be in here like this. You got to put some clothes on. I'm like, tell him, man, I made weight. He says, no, you got to put some clothes on, Phil. I was butt-ass naked, butt-buoy naked in the gym. Literally butt-ass naked. I was so delusional from making weight. When I say it was like, if you ever been drunk or like had a bad night, when I say I had all the symptoms of being as drunk as I ever was, and I was totally coherent and sober, if that makes sense. So like, my mind is present, but like my vision was like so blurred, and I could speak well, but I was just like very dazed and confused. But I had a euphoric rush of adrenaline because I made weight. And I was like, man, I'm on weight. I just take a picture. I'm on weight. And he's like, hey, man, you can't be in here like this. You're naked. So he took me in the back, and I put clothes on. I got in my car. It was wintertime. I don't know how I drove back home.
That's crazy.
And I'm all over the road. But I had like a little rush from making weight. A little like energy boost. And fast forward, the fight, whatever happens, and it was hard. I had 8 hours to get to the venue, whatever. But that year, like 2 guys died in Japan. And they switched up or China or wherever, I don't know, one championship. 2 guys had died cutting weight, and then I guess they switched up the protocol on you got to hydrate this amount, you got to check your weight during the week. But that year, this 2015, people started dying from weight cutting. And another kid died, and like that was from Florida, and like randomly that year, like you can just check it out on Google somewhere, but a lot of kids passed away that year. When I say a lot, 2 kids is a lot dying, you know? And I want to say like 4 or 5. And then like after everything, I'm like, man, like, no, I could have died, you know, 100%. Like, not on some tough guy or like, you know what I mean, beating my chest shit. Like, no, like I remember after the fight, I'm home, and I was like, no, I could have died probably. And that's probably what I was literally doing. And I'm like, man, I ended up losing the fight. Fight I thought I won, but I lost. But I ended up sitting thinking like, man, maybe I can do this. Maybe I have the mental fortitude to do it. Because that's a big part of it. So I couldn't find my niche when it came to, oh, maybe this guy's a better boxer. Maybe, you know what I mean? But I'm like, man, am I Olympic level this? Because when you get here, that's what you're dealing with. The creme de la creme. Not regionally the best, not nationally the best, internationally. You may fight the number 1 guy from Poland. You may fight the number 2 guy from Colombia, And I'm like, am I that? Then that experience, I'm like, nah, you know what I mean? Like Goggins says, your cookie jar, like I have that now. It's like, nah, I've done some shit, maybe that's my superpower, my mental fortitude. And then I started like clinging on that, like I know I'm not gonna quit, I know that, like not a fiber in my body is gonna stop. I can lose, I could be knocked out, God forbid. I never want that to happen. I never want to be submitted, but that could happen. You will not break my will. I don't know if that's a little bit of my faith as well, but I know my mind is bulletproof. So I may not be an elite level wrestler, I may not be an elite level striker, but I have an elite level mindset, and I feel like that carries me in what I do.
It's deep, man. That's deep, man. Thank you for sharing that with us too,
Yeah.
because like as fans watching the sport, like sometimes you see the weight cuts on TVs, or you hear about like, hey, this person had to do this. You see them at the weigh-in. Like you just gave us an in-depth, like full, like just uncut experience of what it's like, and it's like not everybody can do that, So hey, hats off to you, man, for sure. What are some of the pros and cons of being a fighter?
I mean, any fighter can tell you. I think these is kind of the highest highs and the lowest lows. Like there's literally nothing. I train with a lot of elite level athletes. My buddy Bubba Sheffield, Division I All-American wrestler. My coach is a All-American track athlete. And these guys compete at the highest level in their respective sports. Right. And any of these guys can tell you, my coach, my teammates, the gratification you get in winning those events, they don't even come close. Like they do not come relatively close. You lose basketball, let's run it back. You know what I mean? Like there's no running it back in MMA. That's it. You lose, you got to build back from that. You got to have a whole nother fight camp, a whole nother weeks and weeks of anguish. Maybe this opponent, maybe that opponent, maybe he pulls out. It's just so much riding on it, Literally the highest high and the lowest lows. The lowest low you've ever felt in your life, but you pick yourself back up from that. It keeps hardening you, and it builds a certain type of a mindset, and it helps carry you in life way beyond, I feel like after MMA, I'm just equipped more so than the average Joe. Like when I see people complain about certain things, when I see people like how they move and excuses they make, it drives me insane. But I also, in the same note, I can't look down on those people, because I'm so harsh on them because I see a little bit of how I used to be, and I don't ever want to be that again. Right. I don't ever want to make excuses. I don't ever want to not hold myself accountable. I never want to take shortcuts, and in this sport, it's borderline impossible to be successful if you're doing those things. Granted, there are some anomalies, there's some freaks that make excuses, that take shortcuts and still win. I'm not that guy. I got to work hard, but it just builds you in a certain way that nothing else has ever, like the worst feeling in the world when you lose, but you got to build back from that, and then after you build back from it, you feel even stronger than you were before, So, and when you win, it's the highest high. It doesn't last as long as that low, but it's the best feeling in the world, So I do it more so for that, I'm not into hurting people or they're just techniques. It's just things I got to do. You know, I look at it like a jab is like a layup. You know,
Right.
a left hook is like a fadeaway. You know, it's just a skill set that I got to use in here, and you know, to compete. But
Right.
more so than the fight itself, the lessons it's teaching me, you know, day to day, I enjoy. You know,
It's just life lessons.
for sure.
Yeah, man. I seen your skills. So you pretty nice on the court too, man. I seen you.
Yeah, man. I think God gives everyone a gift, man, and I know my gift was basketball. And you've heard this a million times. People listening heard this a million times. I could have been in the NBA. I could have been in the NFL. I
Right.
know I could have been in the NBA.
Right.
I know I could have been there. I know it. You know, I know it because I'm at the pinnacle of this. You know, I may not be a world champion, but no one can take away what I've done to get here. And I got here. And this ain't for me. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't for me. I threw away what I was blessed with. You know, I could hoop, you know, but you got to be efficient on and off the court.
Right.
And I just took my skill set for granted. This was hard. This was losing. I was getting my ass beat. I still get my ass beat every day. This is hard. Like, and I have to work super hard at this. I didn't have to work hard at basketball. If I applied myself to basketball like I did to this, I would be in the NBA, no matter what anyone says, because I made it to an elite level of a field that is not me. You know, I'm y'all getting your ass whooped by a basketball player. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't me. I'm just diligent. I work hard and I don't want to quit. So you getting your ass whooped by a shooting guard. You know what I mean? Like, that's what you getting your ass whooped by. You ain't getting your ass whooped by a fighter. You getting your ass whooped by a basketball player. That sucks. You know, so. It's a fact, man, you know, but if I apply myself in basketball like I'm doing in this, man, there's no way I wouldn't have been in the NBA. It's impossible, you know, and this just solidifies it for me. And like I say it all the time, like the UFC is my NBA, you know, and that's how I'm treating it. Like, I got a fight shirt that says MMA Jam, you know, just like this is my NBA, you know. I didn't make it there, but the UFC is my NBA, you know.
So let's talk about that a little bit since you brought up the UFC, because that's exactly where we were going actually. Now you talked about the 2 losses you had when you first went pro, but then after that you went on like 7-fight win streak. You just start finishing dudes. I look, all your wins are like either submissions or knockouts. It's not bad, man. That's very impressive. You know, and right around I think that 7th win, that was the one that was on the Dana White's Contender Series, right? That was what was that, season 3, week 9?
Yes, sir.
And you headlined that event. Mm-hmm. Headline, main event. Man, talk about that a little bit, man. What was that experience like?
It was good, man. Shout out to Will Harris, my big bro. I met him, Mike Perry versus Donald Cerrone. He was shooting them, and my coach was like, "Yo, Phil, you got to come meet this cat, man. He reminds me of you. He's tall. He hooped. You know what I mean? He one of us, you know what I mean, without getting into it. He's like, he one of us, you know what I mean? So he's like, you gotta meet him, man. I met him. I feel like I was talking to my big cousin, you know, and he gravitated to me. He hit me up. He said, Phil, I'm coming to shoot you, man. And I even felt a little like awkward about it. I'm like, you know, like he shoot Khabib, he shoot Usman, he shoot the creme de la creme. And I'm like, man, I ain't that, man. Like, I don't want people to see me on his thing. Like, man, who this dude think he? That's just how I am, you know. Like, to be honest, this is the first interview I've done in the UFC since I've been in the UFC. Period.
Right here.
I lost my UFC debut. In my head, I'm like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a humble dude, man. I really am, you know. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say, like, and I live by a standard that I hold myself to, you know. And I just feel like, what am I having interviews for? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what am I talking about? Let me go do something, you know. Let me go do something. And I've had so many, literally over 40 people hit me up. And I'm like, when I see another brother, though, striving to do something good, you know what I mean? I always try to piggyback that. And I don't care how anyone feel about that. That's just, you know what I mean? That's just how I am, you know? So I see someone that look like me that's trying to be great, let's do it, you know? But I just felt like I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't want this guy to come shoot me. He shoot these guys. He's like, Phil, I'm coming to shoot you whether you like it or not. This is what I do. I know what I like. I know what I need to record. He came and he shot me. It was July of 2019, and he came to sparring and just stayed at my house for a couple days. And the first day he released us sparring. That afternoon, Sean Shelby reached out to my coach and was like, "Hey man, can we get this kid? We got a opening, short notice, main event, 170. Let's do it." That day he hit me up. So went out there.
That's crazy, man. Wow.
Fought terribly. Still did enough to win. I finished the kid. Third round. Only won that episode that got a contract. And now I'm here, you know.
Funny your interaction with Dana White on that.
Oh, okay.
You two on the shades and everything.
And what's annoying is people didn't understand what I was doing. My homies knew what I was doing. Like the people that's from the culture know what I was doing. So the Dave Chappelle show, when he acted like Diddy, you know how he like, you know, and I was just doing that. And I just doing stuff to make my homies laugh. So I was just acting like Diddy or Dave impersonating Diddy on the episode when he was acting like for making the band.
Yeah.
Side note, motherfuckers don't even know what making the band is, which is crazy to me.
That's a long time ago, yeah.
They don't even know what making the band is. But when he was acting like Diddy, that's all I was doing, just being stupid. So I put the shade down. I'm trying to be funny, and I knew it would make my homies laugh, and that's why I did it. But everyone's like, I look in the comments like, is he retarded? Is he this? He's this, and like what? And I'm like, over their heads, fuck it, you know. So
what was it like though when they announced that you were like the only person to win that contract? What did you feel?
It wasn't as crazy as I thought it was gonna feel. Maybe because in the most humble way, I knew I got a contract, like 100%, no shadow of a doubt in my mind. The thing with me is this: I win or I lose. Phil, what do you mean? Of course you win or you lose. I either finish my opponent or I lose. I've never won a fight that I haven't finished the guy. My UFC debut, I lost. I didn't finish him. If I won that fight 100%, he'd have got knocked out or I would have submitted him, period. So that's just how my fights end up playing out. I don't know why. It just happens that way. I know, man, and I can't leave it to the judges. I can't leave it to the judges because I don't get ever the nod. But since everyone lost, I just knew, like it was weird, man. Like it was almost like I was there already. It was so weird. Like when I say zero shadow of a doubt, like I knew I got a contract. I was the main event. I watch these shows. I see how it plays out. They tend to favor the main event. You know, they tend to put the guys there they want to head that showcase. Rightfully so, you know. I wouldn't, you know. So I know I had that showcase spot. I'm like, Phil, finish the fight. You finish the fight, you'll be good money. And I knew since there were no other finishes, I was the main event. I'm like, man, Dana's going to give me a contract. And I was just cool as a cucumber. Almost so like it didn't show real emotion. I was just like kind of, you know.
You had already seen that moment in your head, though. You had already seen it. You knew it.
For sure.
Now, what was crazy, you finished in, what was like 15 seconds left? It was like a late, it was like what, 15 seconds left in the third round?
No, excuse me. It was actually the first 15 seconds of the third round.
First 15 seconds. Okay, gotcha. But yeah, man, it was good stuff though, man. But that was a good moment. So then, that was like a dream come true, you know? So I know one of the things that really separates fighters in this craft, right? In this world of fighting is their training partners, you know, the camps that they're with. You know, talk a little bit about your relationship with Julian Williams and you know, just training at Fusion XL Performance, and we'll get into some of your sparring partners, some of the elite sparring partners that you have here as well.
That's a good question, man. That's a really good question. It's not a cookie cutter question. What's funny is people always say, Phil, you ain't fight nobody. You ain't fight nobody. Okay, bitch, you're right. I ain't lying. My fights to come up weren't that tough. Guess what, motherfucker? Now I'm in the pool of the baddest motherfuckers on earth. What are you saying? Now I have to fight the baddest dudes on earth. No? So now you will see if I'm able to fight the baddest motherfuckers. I'm not ashamed to say my fights were not that hard before I got to the UFC. Leon Shabazian was tough. Gabriel Green was tough. Matt McKeown was tough. But prior to that, I should have done that to those guys. You guys are right. I ain't fighting nobody. I've yet to see a dude at the UFC checkpoint for his UFC debut like this, getting Vaselined up, and his little stats pop up, and they say, yo, he beat John Smith on the regional scene. 5-0 John Smith from Kansas City. It don't fucking matter until you're there fighting those dudes.
Absolutely.
If you do not have elite level training partners, you need to be taking those fights. My opinion. I hear people, oh, you need to fight anyone anytime. If you're not making money, don't take that attrition. You hit your head that hard, you're getting brain cells you never get back. If you have the elite level training partners and those bodies, regionally, you want to do it smart. You know, you want to fight fights in your favor. When you get there, this is the pool of the baddest dudes on earth. Okay, you fought nothing but cans. Well, surprise, motherfucker, now you got to fight Kamaru Usman. You know what I mean? Like, what's going to happen? Oh, I'm sorry, I don't want to take this fight. I'm not fighting. Thank you for the opportunity. No, you're going to fight him, right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So, like, when people say, oh, he ain't fight nobody, like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? No, I did fight someone. Someone was there across from me. I beat him up, and I got a win, and it helped propel me to this point. If you're not fighting elite level guys in your gym, you need to take those hard regional fights. And what's a hard regional fight? You know what I mean? You need to be smoking these guys anyway. You know what I mean? And I heard that a lot. Oh, you ain't fighting nobody. Cool. Y'all, well, I'm in the UFC, so y'all motherfuckers will see. Good luck finding somebody that can box with me. You know what I mean? Good luck finding someone that has an 83.5-inch reach. Good luck finding someone that has footwork like me. You know what I mean? Good luck finding someone my size that has jiu-jitsu like me, right? Yeah. So I should be getting my ass whooped, right? Win, lose, or draw, I'm never going to be out there and people watching me at home like, man, what is this guy doing? That's impossible. That is biologically impossible because of who I train with.
Right.
Jacare Souza, Rodolfo Vieira, Julian Williams, Bubba Sheffield. I've been having Lyoto Machida. Like, I've been getting these looks for years. I've been to seminars that Jacare got 4 bands in 2 hours. You know what I mean? Like, they paid him $4,000 to be there for 2 hours, taking pictures and showing 2 techniques. This guy been beating my ass for the past 4 years, every day. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in his camp for his last 7 fights. You know what I mean? Like, these are the looks I'm getting. Right. You know, there's guys at the elite level that haven't even shared mat space with these guys. Rodolfo, you're literally talking the 2 arguably best jiu-jitsu practitioners to ever put on MMA gloves. And they're both my training partners. Like, these are the looks I'm getting. Who is going to feel like them? Right. Who at 170? Kamaru Usman don't feel like Rodolfo Vieira. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so I have those looks, you know, and I know I can hang with any of them. I know I can, and only time will tell, you know. I know I can box with anyone, you know, only time will tell. Right. But I get the looks, man, and once again, they'll see, right? You know, they'll see. You guys keep paying for these expensive seminars by my training partners. You keep paying X amount of dollars to train with over, between the 2 of them, 10 world championships. You know what I mean? You're going to pay that fee. Right. These are my training partners for years. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I won't name how many guys that have come into Fusion and got flattened by Julian Williams. They know, he knows, the most humble guy in the world. I couldn't have his ability and be Phil, because everyone would know about it. You know what I mean? Everyone would. No, so-and-so came to my gym and I flattened him out like a kid. He's a lot more humble than I am, you know? His skill set is a lot higher than mine. But they've seen it. Guys in the UFC right now seen it. Guys in my division has seen it. You know what I mean? Elite world-class guys have seen it. They know. So, trust me, I'm well-equipped to be training with these guys. I'm well-equipped to be fighting with these guys. I'm well-equipped. I'm where I'm supposed to be, you know? I'm where I'm supposed to be. And if someone can expose me, they will. We'll see.
Gotcha. And I seen y'all just recently had, like, Glover Teixeira in here, right?
You name it, man. Glover. Dude, Alex, the Potent Pieta. He beat Israel Adesanya twice. He knocked him out once. I just sparred him. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's helping me with my camp. He is arguably, I say that because you can have an argument, he is current 2-time or 2-division Glory World Champion. It's never been done. Light heavyweight and middleweight. Right now. He's the best striker on planet Earth. You know what I mean? Like, you can argue it. How can you argue he's not? He knocked out Israel Adesanya. He beat Israel Adesanya. And when he did knock out Israel Adesanya, he had been training for 5 years. You know, he had literally been training kickboxing for 5 years. This is the looks I'm getting. I ain't ready though. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't supposed to be here. We'll see, man.
Right.
I've been hit in my face. I can count less than 50 times my entire career, easily. Check the stats, easily.
You stay clean.
Look, if I was taking shots, I probably wouldn't even want to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm long, I got hella good footwork, and I can box. So it's like, literally, I've been in 10 fights, I've taken less than 50 shots to my head. I know I have. You know, and that's because of my training partners. That's because of the world-class looks I get every day. The guys that motherfuckers fly in to train, they're my partners. That's who's here. People fly here to train with the guys that I train with every day. I see it. These motherfuckers being here. They do. You know what I mean? So the guys that they fly in, they're my buddies.
Right.
They come to my garage and train. These are my homies. You know what I mean? But they'll see.
Hey, man, I know half the success is just having that team around you, man. You can't go wrong with that.
And here's what my confidence comes from. I get my ass beat in here, bro. I get my ass whooped in this gym, pause, daily. And if you're not getting pushed like that, I don't know what you're doing, you know, but I get beat up in this gym daily. Who am I gonna beat up in here? Adolfo? You know what I mean? Like, who am I gonna take down and beat up? Bubba? I'm gonna out wrestle Julian? You know what I mean? Like, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna beat up Jacare? Or Jolly Son, like 250-pound, elite level, world-class black belt. Like, what am I gonna do? We have over 18 black belts in here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have the looks for sure, you know, for sure. And I know for damn sure the guys that I'm gonna be in there with ain't gonna feel like these dudes.
That's what's up, man. Well, I love what y'all are doing here, Fusing Excel Performance. I see it, man. You know, I follow the page on Instagram and everything. I see it, man. High level, and I can see people are putting in the work. Like, these are people who are serious. You know, they're not joking around. It's like serious stuff. So, definitely. Now, you also do like the grappling tournaments and everything as well, right?
Yeah. And once again, people don't know much about me because I don't do many interviews. I am 6 feet 4 inches tall. I have almost an 84-inch reach. Like, Phil, your reach is 81. That's what it says on the UFC statistics. My reach is 83.5. And anyone that I would let measure me, they would know that. My coach is old school boxer, you know, concrete Calvin, IBF world champion, WBC contender. Just type in concrete Calvin Davis and you'll see who pops up, you know, and they know this guy. He's known. Everyone knows him. And my coach, Kelly Davis, I remember I was out there for the contender. We were shooting the pre-fight stuff, and they were getting my height and everything, and they were getting my wingspan. I'm like, oh man, this is cool because now they're gonna know, like, next to John Jones, ain't nobody got reach like me. So I'm on the wall like this. And my coach like, man, tighten that up, Neil. What you doing, man? Don't give him all that. Pull your fucking shoulders back, man. Let him feel that in there. That's what my coach said. I'm like, oh, you okay? You right. So they measure me, and I'm here. And they put down 81, and that's what my reach is. And he said, man, you let them feel them extra inches in there. Pause. You know what I mean? Like, you let them figure that out when they in there. Yeah. Let them write that. And I'm like, that's some old school shit right there. So they had me down for 81, but I'm almost 84, you know? So shout out to Kelly Davis. If he wasn't with me, they'd have had my statistics on there. But they put me out there, and I was stretched out, and right before I pulled my shoulders back, and I put my arms in. And he said, man, you don't ever get on that, man. He said, you don't get him that. Who gonna want to fight the guy with this reach and this height? We don't give him that. So that's pretty funny.
That's what's up, man. Now, you fight at welterweight, 170. Now, it's a stacked division. It's very stacked.
Yeah.
Probably like most stacked in the UFC, I would say. Yeah. You know, I guess where do you see yourself within the next 2 years in that division? Like, what are you looking to accomplish?
I'm trying to. I want to be. I just a name that people recognize, you know. And when they see me, it's a breath of fresh air, you know. Like, hey man, that guy don't carry a facade. That guy, he a cool guy, you know. Like that kids can, hey man, I want to do what he's doing, you know. You know what I mean? Like I just want to be. World championship is cool, right? You know, the cliche answer is I want to be a number 9, and I want to be the world. I want to be the champion. I want to be the champion, welterweight champion of the world. I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to make money, man. I mean, the fuck. I want to fight. I don't want to fight Usman. Fuck Usman, man. Usman beat the shit out of me. Fuck, I'm fight Usman. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't trying to fight Usman. You know what I mean? Good. You know what I mean? Let's get Usman. And look, to be honest, I can't fight Usman. Usman got 2-3 fights left. Well, you know what I mean? Like, think about what it takes for me to get to that point. How many years it'll take for me to get there. I ain't never see Usman. So I don't even need to be there.
5, 6, 7 fight win streak.
Of course.
Yeah.
Then politics.
Yep.
Then the timetable.
Yep.
Then shit talk. Usman gonna be on the beach somewhere chilling.
Yeah.
You know, I want to be the best Phil I could be, and wherever that takes me. If that means I'm 1-3 and I get my walking papers and I did the best I could, that's where I'm at. If I'm on a 7-fight win streak, that's where I'm at. You know, I'm gonna shoot as high as I can. I'm gonna go out there and fight my heart out and do the best I can. You know, but more so, I want to. At the end, people don't remember the wins or losses. They just remember how you carried yourself, you know? And I want to be something that kids aspire to be, you know? Like how I used to see Will Smith and I used to like T-Mac a lot, you know, and those guys. You know, I just want to be a good guy. The Rock, you know? I want to be somebody that people, you know what I mean? Like, no facade, and just who you see is who I am, you know? And whatever happens, happens. You know, I'm gonna do the best and we'll see what happens.
That's what's up, man. Much respect to that, man. Yeah, man. So I see you have a lot of good things going for yourself, even like outside of the cage and everything, man. So talk a little bit about that. I see the bump box. I see you made a post about that on Instagram. I see you got the boom box over there. Yeah, what's bump box?
Bump box, man. They're a company based out of California, and they make retro speakers with a new school style and flair to it. And in 2016, they came about, and I found their product in 2017. And that's me. It's urban. It's New York. It's music. It's hip hop. And I knew I wanted one. I didn't have the money for it. And my wife, girlfriend at the time, she's like, "You don't need this. You don't need this." I'm like, "Damn, whatever." I'm trying to stack my chips to get it. My birthday comes July. Her and one of my close friends, they go in and they get me one.
Nice.
And I just carry this shit everywhere with me, like Radio Raheem. Like I just had it at all times, just because I enjoyed it. Like not because I was promoting anything, not because I just genuinely enjoyed having it around, and not trying to be nobody or be flashy. I just enjoyed listening to loud music.
Yeah.
And I just beat this shit to hell, man. I brought it everywhere. And it got to the point I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, man, if you could give me a discount code so I feel cool," verbatim, like it's in my text. If we go scroll up.
Right.
He goes, "Okay," he gave me a discount code. I said, I don't need nothing. He ends up hitting me up a couple months later. He said, "Hey, what's your Cash App?" Put some money in my account. He said, "Hey, man, you moved X amount of units. Appreciate you." I'm like, "Oh, shit, man. I didn't expect nothing." Fast forward, my career starts building. I start winning fights. He start showing me a little love. Bump box, Phil, sponsor me, boom, boom, boom. Give me a little product here. And then it turned into a full relationship of him sponsoring me. Recently, the past year, I'm like, man, I feel like an asset to this guy. You know, like I feel like I want to be a part of the team. You know what I mean? Like, what can I do? So I reached out to him. Awesome, awesome individual, man. Like one of the most humble people I've ever met. You're talking a guy with a lot of money, man. You know what I mean? Like a lot of money. Multi-millionaire. And he's just an awesome human being. You know, like you don't meet people like that. And I'm just so blessed to run across a guy like with a pure heart like as his, you know, and everyone that he's around, you know, the two owners, the partner, he's a rapper, Trade the Truth. Like they're just awesome men to the core. Like literally, you know, like Trey is always doing something for someone else. Like literally, like he is probably on the plane right now, flying somewhere to help someone out. You know, like that's what his life is about. they just inspire me, man. They make me want to be a better human being. So aside from bump box, after meeting these people, I just wanted to be around them even more. You know, I wanted to do what they did and emulate what they got going on. You know, so I sat with them. We came to a deal. Came to an agreement. Now I'm the owner of Bump Box Orlando Incorporated.
Man, that's
you know,
good stuff, man.
I'm trying to build a brand out here. Sister brand to Bump Box. With their blessing and their know-how and their direction, they're helping me grow. We're trying to just bring Bump Box to the East Coast, man. I genuinely just love the product. We're opening up a store in the Florida Mall in Orlando,
Nice.
And we're just gonna keep it going, man, and just
Nice.
keep
Good
building and
location.
building. Great location,
Man.
absolutely great
A
location.
lot of people go through there, man.
For sure.
That's what's up, man. So yeah, I respect the hustle, man. You got a lot of stuff going on, but again, like I like this is one of the things I like when I see with professional athletes. Like the sponsorships, they come from their hard work. It's like you earn those. You know, like people are not going to put money behind you if you're not generating.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I respect the business side of it. So it's like hard work, it pays off, man, in multiple ways. You know, so you're a living testament of that. So good stuff, man. Last couple of questions, man. Who is the GOAT of MMA?
John Jones.
Bones Jones?
John Jones.
That's what's up.
Bar none. Look at his body of work, you know. And personally, I feel like he wasn't supposed to win, if that makes any sense. Like when guys come in, they have a look. You can see their opponents. They're kind of like, like why is he fighting this guy? Like why is he fighting that guy? They kind of put guys in front of John Jones that, in my opinion, were supposed to beat him up. You know, when he first came in, 6 months of training, destroying everyone, putting a young kid in front of all these killers. And even if you just listen to the dynamics of the commentary when he first was in there, it was almost like, man, Stephan Bonnar is and Stephan Bonnar, oh shit, Stephan Bonnar just got slammed on his head. But when he gets up, he's gonna, and wow, John Jones, it was kind of always for the other guy.
Right.
Until he proved himself. So I feel like his body of work and what he does to people speaks for itself. Then to me, Khabib Nurmagomedov is number 2.
Okay. That's what's up, man. Now I know, obviously what's trending right now, with is it Triller? Triller? Yeah, so Jake Paul guy, man, he's fighting these guys. He's knocked out 2 people, who weren't really real fighters or whatnot, or they didn't box, put it that way. I know Askren was a world-class wrestler, but I never really seen him throw hands like that. But after his last fight where he just knocked out Askren, I saw you on social media. I said you call him out. So in a boxing ring. So you want the smoke? You want to give him all the smoke on that one?
I mean, of course, I do this for real, and he doesn't, no matter what. I respect the kid, and I respect his hustle. I don't knock anyone trying to make some money, and I don't knock how they're making their money. So hats off to him because of that. I'm not hating on him. I'm not. But he's calling out UFC guys, and I said, hey, man, I'm 2-0 as a professional boxer. You're 2-0. I got 2 stoppages. You got 2 stoppages. I'm a UFC fighter. You want to fight UFC fighters. It makes sense to fight me. We're on the same wavelength. 2 wins in boxing. You got 2 wins. My amateur record ain't that extensive, but I got a lot of fights. Of course, I have almost 70 fights. I'm a UFC fighter. I'm young. That made sense to me, But then I just saw everyone like hopping on the bandwagon and just trying to and it got corny to me. And I'm like, let me just separate myself from it. Now I can talk on it. You know why? Because I don't watch it. I won't watch Floyd Mayweather fight that guy. So if you're watching it, shut your mouth. You're a part of it. So I'm not involved in it. I am not paying money to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not supporting it. So hey, yeah, I could talk about it. Fuck it. I think it's corny. So I won't. But more so than anything, I called out Jellion Love, his trainer, who's a legit boxer.
Yeah.
I'll fight Jellion Love. Jellion Love, if I'm saying his name right. What's good? Why? That makes sense. You're 27-3 or whatever you are. You're a legit boxer, right? Everyone's calling out Jake Paul. I ain't calling out Jake Paul. Jellion Love, let's box. Triller, what's good? I will box Jellion Love. He's the great boxer. He keeps telling me he's a world champion. He's not a world champion, but I don't know where that come from. But he keeps telling me
Fights under Mayweather. Well, he was on the Mayweather team.
And my boy David Benavidez. Shout out to David Benavidez. I've been talking about David Benavidez since I was 23 years old. And I said to everyone, this kid's gonna be a world champion. When I met David, he was 17, and he was already like 5-0 as a pro. He was fighting in Mexico. He hadn't fought in America yet. That December, he would have fought, and he washed Jalen Love. And I'm actually supposed to be going out there to get some work with him. Shout out to David Benavidez. Shout out to Jose Benavidez. Shout out to Jose Benavidez Jr., Senior. Awesome guys, man. Hard workers, monsters. But I trained with him in Arizona when I met Kelly Davis, and I got a lot of rounds with him. And talk about humble, man. Like, that kid sparring Kelly Pavlik when he's 15. Like, took time and helped me, you know? I was watching him sit CB Dalloway down with body shots, sit Ryan Bader down with body shots at 18 years old. Little chubby, you know what I mean? Awesome kid, man. Like, with what he was possessing, he could have been such an asshole. You know what I mean? Like, so nice to me. I'm getting ready for professional fights. We're sparring. Oh, sit me down with a body shot. Oh, are you okay, man? I'm sorry, man. Like, awesome kid. Like, so happy that he's getting his blessings, his roses. He's getting paid, you know. But yeah, man. I've been. Look, man. My coach, my coach Kelly Davis. He's been around boxing a long time, and he's put me in front of great guys. I'm not calling out no names. Great boxers, and I know I can box. Forget Jake Paul, Jalen Love.
Hey, well, y'all heard it.
Let's do it. Why not? Let's do it.
Man?
You're 27-3. Trilla, let's make it happen. I'm in the UFC. You keep talking. Oh, he don't want nobody called him out. Mike Perry did. He used to train here. Mike Perry did mention his name. Said he will box him. I will box him. No issue. I will box him. No problem. He ain't gonna do that. They say they do the back and forth with the MMA. Of course he's not gonna fight me in MMA. Of course he's not. I don't want to fight in MMA. I will box him. Let me know.
Now, just real quick, logistically speaking, though, like, would they be able to make that happen with you being in the UFC? And
I will be able to make it happen.
Okay, I got it.
Like Floyd Mayweather says, I'm my own boss. Until they paying me, I'm my own boss. Exactly. So I know they're going to come with some zeros. Let's rock. Jelly on, let's rock.
Hey, man, let's do it, man. Well, hey, Phil, man, I've enjoyed this interview, man. Stand-up dude, down to earth. I would love to hoop with you, man. You know, I'm nice with it too, man. My background is basketball.
Let's do it, man. Yeah. There ain't not a single human being in the UFC that can play basketball, man. Not one. Not one. Randy Brown, not one. So, hey, man, we don't got to play basketball in the UFC, man. But they ain't no basketball players in the UFC, I'll tell you that. I'm the only one, you know. So that's cool, man.
Hey, man, well, go ahead and look at this camera, man. Go ahead and tell people where they can follow you on social media and everything.
Philly Fresh UFC. So Philly Fresh, just how it sounds, UFC. That's my Twitter handle. That's my Instagram handle. Check me out. Follow my journey, man. Get a good laugh. That's it, man.
And he'll be easy to find. He's verified on there, so he'll be one of the first ones to come up. And y'all can also find him on the UFC website as well. His profile is on there. But hey, thank you guys for tuning in to another great interview of Limelight Conversations. You know, we bring you the most intimate conversations with just real people who are successful in what they do. And join us again next time for a very special guest. And remember, it goes down in the limelight.